Julie, and I have a special guest today. You are watching Zingo TV channel 251. Be sure to download the Zingo TV app. You can get it for free in the App Store. And thanks so much for tuning in. So I have a special guest, Tijana from 21 Desserts, but I just want to quickly read her intro because it's pretty interesting. So originating in Bowmanville, Toronto, she has 21 Desserts. 21 Desserts is dedicated to all natural, plant-based, and handmade desserts through the enduring passion of owner-operator Tijana. I'm going to butcher your last name.
Bogdanovic.
Bogdanovic. Yeah. Bogdanovic, I did it. They specialize in dream desserts without breaking the bank. Tijana embodies the 21 brand and delivers vegan, organic dessert creations using all natural ingredients, avoiding preservatives and processed food. She has like 10 years of experiencing living life to the vegan lifestyle. And her profession is that of sharing her experience, knowledge, and delectable desserts with others through mentoring, classes, and her own recipes. Boom.
Thank you. Hi.
Hi. Good morning. So with Valentine's Day approaching, I thought it would be good to have you on as a guest because you make healthy desserts.
Yes.
And I think when it comes to desserts, people are not used to thinking of health and dessert in the same sentence.
Category, yeah. So the interesting thing is that we are making desserts out of fruit, seeds, and nuts. So that's pretty much what we are using. The sweeteners are maple syrup, and then for the keto is xylitol or monk fruit. Mm-hmm. So who said we can't create healthy desserts nowadays? No one, right? We do not have to use any bad stuff, but we still do use that for some reason in the stores. However, we do avoid all of that. Recently, we started baking as well with our own gluten-free flour blends without oil, making delicious donuts. Aside from raw desserts that we used to do exclusively. Then we added some smoothie bowls to our menu when we opened this showroom in Bowmanville and started doing our own app. And then lastly, we added some charcuterie boxes last week, I believe, and they're blowing up pretty good. I'm very happy. People are supportive so much and so aware of the health and compassion. So I'm very happy that we are growing up in this current times where vegan food is more accessible, plant-based healthy is more accessible than before. I've heard a lot of stories where people were going vegan way back when I started, and they didn't have many options. So I'm very happy that we are growing up in this, again, time where there's many products. If you are missing something, if you're craving something that you used to eat, you can always find a replacement. However, I personally avoid that as well and enjoy my veggies and fruits, which is we are made to eat that, right?
Yeah. So more focused on whole plant foods versus all of the and personally, I'm not a fan of all the processed alternatives on the market. Like when people ask me, oh, is that healthy? I'm like, well, you're probably better off having some lentils and beans and, there's a lot of like fruits and veggies. Like most of your diet should be like veggies and water and fruit. And then you're having, splashes of the other stuff. So is that your showroom that we're in?
Correct. Yeah. So this is my prep area. I have the shelving here, some freezers, I have 3 surfaces, designated stations for smoothies, for donuts, and for other stuff. And yeah, everything is well organized. But again, it's still work in progress. I'm always improving. I'm definitely known by always trying to get the better way, better process in place and so on. So I'm always trying to find new ways, but this currently works very good. And yeah, so I'm looking to get someone in to help me with basic stuff so I can concentrate on more bringing more delicious things on the menu, and getting back to the baking classes again. I think that I set them aside when all this started. And again, starting to bake, not having any assistance here due to current situation. I had to put something on hold, which were the classes, and I enjoy classes so much. So we did few online, but I want to go back to that. And yeah, provide people with more knowledge, with more because it's not complicated to make these desserts at all. And again, all the recipes are available online. It's just a matter of people wanting to find it and knowing how to do certain things. And when something is unknown, you definitely are scared of that. So
right. Yeah. So do you think that one day you'll have like a, let's pretend in the future that we're allowed to go out again? Do you think like one day you'll have like a sit-in kind of cafe space? Because you're out in Bowmanville, yes?
Yeah. So I am definitely looking into that. That was my main idea beginning of 2021, was to get our business out of the house, because it got to the point where we couldn't do it anymore out of our own kitchen. And we looked at a couple of places, one in Bowmanville, one in Brooklyn, and we had that, I would say, bad luck, but it ended up to be a good, to have to invest so much money at the start, with all the renovations and permits and so on. And with this current situation, I definitely was not okay with that, because I never know, will we close again? What will happen? Will we be able to stay open and so on? And actually, my husband suggested, she said, why don't we just have downstairs just for the business? And we said, wow, I mean, that's a great idea. It's alternative to and people are used to ordering online when it comes to our desserts. They are used to coming and picking up from the pickup table outside, and we definitely didn't switch anything. We just went downstairs, and this worked perfectly. So however, we do have some locations, for example, like Markets by Dream Day. We do have a fridge over there. The location is in Bowmanville, and we have some cheesecake cups, Bounty bars, Snickers bars, what else we have, brownies. So most of the items that we keep in the freezer here on stock, we have there as well. And then I try to put some flowers, because we are collaborating with local flower shop. And I put some flowers depending on like occasion, if it's Valentine's or Mother's Day or so on. So I'll put some with the treats, like a combo type of thing. And now when they reopen on February 16th, hopefully that will happen. I am looking to introduce some of the smoothie bowls as well over there. So let's say twice a week to have it over there.
Yeah. Can people still find you at Il Fornello?
Yes. So our desserts are sold there as well. So I think this has been third year since we're working with them, and it's just working amazing. Il Fornello in Ajax has amazing vegan menu, and then our treats come. Anastasia, idem napolje.
Is that your little assistant?
Morat ćeš da pitaš tatu, ljubavi. Idi, molim te, pitaj tatu. Sorry about that.
Is she trying to get extra dessert?
No, she's trying to ask me about how to fix her scooter. there's something wrong with her handle, but I asked her to ask Daddy. So they have an amazing vegan menu, and then our desserts come on top after that. It's just like a cherry on top. It's just beautiful. So they sell our tiramisu and our strawberry cheesecakes, and that's a great combination, and it's going very well. So we haven't changed anything. At some point, we were at Cucina Urbana in Coburg. It's also Italian restaurant before this closure, the last closure. So we're looking to get there in again after they open. And there's another place here, co-working space in old chocolate factory in Wellington Street here in Bowmanville. It's like a co-working space slash a coffee shop, like a coffee bar. They carry our desserts as well. So I love that space. It's just beautiful. It has a swing inside, and you can rent your space to come and work there. Rents offices for meetings and so on. We've been at a lot of other places, and then I'm looking to participate, and we will most likely be a part of Oshawa Farmers Market now that's going to be opening in April in downtown Oshawa. Mm-hmm. So we're going to be having.
And you're in the Whitby Farmers Market as well.
Correct. Yes, during the season.
Pickering too, if I'm not.
We were, but we're not going to go back only because it's. At this point, it's too much work for me. So I just took it easy a little bit, stayed in Whitby because I just love that market. I love the people, I love the vibe. And I'm going to try to expand more to other locations that are open all year and all year round every day. Because it's more interesting for my product.
Well, I just want to go back a little bit, because this all started as a hobby, and it also started because you're a mom and you wanted your children to be able to participate in the act of having desserts, but without the garbage and junk that is in many conventional desserts. Correct. So this is how you started down this path, because I don't think a lot of people would necessarily know that unless they started talking to you.
Yeah. So, and also my brand is around breaking a habit. Okay. So it takes 21 days to break a habit, therefore 21. We are all about showing people, especially young parents with kids, when I see small children eating my desserts, I'm just so happy, because again, we started just because I couldn't find anything out there that is dairy-free, that is sugar-free, and refined sugar-free. Yeah. It's simply impossible. And again, as you said, I wanted my children to participate in birthdays, in celebrations, in everyday activities. Like, we want to eat an ice cream, so I make it. And it's not impossible now, it's more accessible. But that's how we started. And in 2016 it was my hobby, and in 2019 in July I give it a shot. I had 2 employees working for me part-time, and babysitter taking my kids to the park because he couldn't manage to get to everything, and I was working in the company. So I just wanted to, okay, I'm gonna give it a shot, or I'm gonna stop doing it, either or. And I never looked back. I'm very happy I did it. It does take a lot of work, but I'm very happy where I am right now, and the direction it's going to, and all the ideas I keep having all the time, and improving and adding and so on. And you're free to do stuff like that, because there's no one above your head to tell you what you can or can't do. So it's simply just and rewarding. You see, so many people. And I was talking with my best friend yesterday, because we went together to look at that place in Oshawa. And I said to her, I was on one of networking events in 2017, and one lady was there. I remember she was selling jewelry, and she said, I just quit my full-time job, and to do my business full time, and I'm so happy. And I was looking at her, I'm like, oh my gosh, how is this possible? It just seemed so impossible for me. You know, at that point, I was like, I wish I can do this, you know, just like how you think. And then you're right there.
Yeah.
So nothing is impossible. I always say I had an interview with BACD recently. I go to see them from time to time, and I just love their energy and people out there. And we did an interview recently. I said, you know, they asked me for advice for young entrepreneurs. Nothing is impossible. If you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Yeah. And it's also liberating because you are your own boss. You can decide what you want to create. And
Right.
I mean, like you, because I'm also an entrepreneur, I get ideas for things, and I have more ideas than there are hours in the day to execute. But it's
Exactly.
great because I can decide what I want to do and which direction I want to go in. And
Correct.
I mean, I think like the reason that I wanted to have you on is I really want people to see and understand that there are, whatever foods you're used to having, there are healthier options out there. And it's just a
Absolutely.
matter of figuring out and finding out who are the people who are doing those things and who can you look to. I mean, I'm always open to people reaching out to me because especially in the food and the health space, it's like I probably know someone who does it. Like I myself, like I create recipes from scratch, but I'm not a chef. I'm a health coach and a nutritionist. That's my zone. But I know chefs. I know people who are making desserts. I know people who are doing personal training and all of that. And so usually if someone reaches out to me, I can probably connect them to the person, the expert who's got it. And it'll be great when you have your unbaking classes back, because that's another way for people to, because if they're not like, especially if you're doing it in the online space, so if they can't get things delivered to them, or they can't pick things up just because of location, they can learn from you how to do these things for themselves at home.
Yeah.
And that's a
Yeah.
great option as well, because we don't have to go to the processed junk food that is available in the market. Like they're just aim higher. Like your health is worth the investment. And I like that you use dates and you use maple sugar or maple syrup.
Maple syrup, dates, xylitol, monk fruits, depending
Yeah.
on.
And so like from a sugar standpoint, like maple syrup, while it is a sugar, it's got B vitamins in it.
Yeah, it's natural sugar. And simple sugar. You
Yeah.
know that body observes it as a food and as an energy
Yeah.
and uses it like that. It's not hard to you spend that energy if it's not refined, because your body, as soon as it gets refined sugars, it observes it as a toxin and stores it as a toxin, because that's what it is.
Well, it also, like a lot of people don't understand, is that a lot of sugars, the processed sugars, especially the chemical sugars, and even like the sugar substitutes, what's happening is that there aren't any nutrients in it, and it actually costs your body nutrients because it has to pull
To
on its
digest it.
nutrient stores in order
Right.
to digest it.
Yeah.
And so over a period of time, you can actually create deficiencies in certain vitamins and minerals because you're putting things into your body that your body can't actually utilize. And it's really, really important that the act of eating, while we might enjoy eating, which food should be enjoyed, but we also want to think of food as nourishment, and therefore it has to nourish the body. And if it's not nourishing the body, it's actually costing you your health. And like sugar, processed sugar especially, like your body goes into a state of stress every time you have it, because your insulin spikes and then it dips and it spikes and it dips. And that cycle is very it's very costly for your health.
Oh,
And I know that it's incredibly normalized in our society that, you know, if you get up in the morning, if you're back when people used to work in offices, you know, there'd be coffee and donuts. It's like literally the worst combination. Right?
correct. Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but people are so used to that. And what I would like to add is our palates are, you know, our taste buds are formed certain way. So once you want to change that, it takes a while for you to adjust to a new way of eating. So if you right away try something new and you say, oh no, I don't like it, just be patient a little bit, because all those palates that are now completely, you know, how would I put it, deformed and form in a bad way, have to go back to where they were before, and it takes time.
well,
You
it's
know,
also understanding like if you're eating processed foods or processed sugars, the companies who make those foods formulate them in such a way to get your body addicted and to really mess with your palate. So
correct.
it takes time for your palate to go back to normal and for you to actually taste like having a piece of fruit and having like real natural sweetness of the fructose that's in a piece of fruit versus something that's artificially made. I mean, companies spend millions of dollars, no joke on this.
No combinations. Yep.
Yeah, and so knowing that it's important to put your health first and then start to get off those things and shift to all of the alternatives that are available that are, you know, made from whole food ingredients and aren't going to damage your body the
Correct.
way that all of this, like when I go into a grocery store, it blows my mind what is sold as food. Like there's nothing in the aisles that I have any interest in, right? It's all the produce section, you know, knowing
Yeah.
where to get the
That's
legumes.
what we do. We go to produce, and we go and get chickpeas and milk, oat milk, because I am unable to make the oat milk the way they do, of course, just for the
Have
coffee.
you seen my almond cow?
I know, I saw that, and honestly, I'm making it in my blender. But the taste of the oat milk is for just for my coffee very important. Okay, so that's why I get from time to time that oat milk, because when I make my own and I try to heat it, it makes into a porridge.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I can't heat it. Yeah,
The
so they
almond
do
cow,
something to it.
the almond cow has cured all of that.
Really?
Yes,
Okay,
really.
yeah, I'll have to try that.
It
I'll
is
have
worth
to
the
try.
investment, I'm telling you. Um,
I'll come to you and try it.
yes, when everything's
And
open again, you come,
yeah,
you try, you have a, a tea or a coffee with me, and you can decide then if it's worth it.
sounds good. Sounds good.
Okay, amazing. So to find 21 desserts, just go to at. Oh, can you spell it? Can you spell it out? So it,
Absolutely. So our website is 20 spelled out, TWENTY number one .ca. So that's our website. And that's for the pre-orders for the next or any other day. It will allow you to put anything in the cart that we have
yeah.
offered during the time. There's also an app that will give you opportunity to order only what we have on stock. So we update it daily. You can download it from Google Play or App Store, and it's called 20 spelled out, again, TWNTY, number one desserts. So 21 desserts, that's an app is called like that. And then again, you can, if you don't want to drive, you can find us on Uber Eats and DoorDash.
All right, amazing. Thanks so much for coming on today.
Thank you
And
for
thank
having me. Thank you for
yeah,
your invitation. I love it. I love chatting with you all the time.
thank you so much for tuning into the wellness movement. So remember to download the Zingo TV app. We are also affiliated with Spanglish World. And yeah, please feel free to share about 21 desserts, and definitely make them a part of your Valentine's Day celebrations.
Yes, I would just like to add the Valentine's. What we did is we have our own bounty bars that are normally offered. For this Valentine's, we made it in a packaging of 2 for couples in red and blue. So red, we used beet powder, and then blue spirulina. Then we have some cheesecakes also in those 2 colors that are heart-shaped. We also have some heart-shaped chocolate, which if you like, I can show it to you.
I think actually we're going to get pulled off the air. So.
Okay, no problem. No problem. Okay. So yeah, go online, check our website, and you'll see all the information there.
Okay, awesome. Thanks so much. I'll talk to you soon.
Thank you for having